So 3 weeks ago, I attended the National Speakers Association Convention in Indianapolis. This was my 10th year of annual attendance. And although the keynote sessions and the breakout sessions are amazing, I mean, they are professional speakers, the real value, the real takeaway, the reason why I attend every year and don't miss is because of the networking opportunities. The chance to talk to other like-minded, crazy people like me that have to explain to their families that they actually speak for a living kind of creates an instant bond. But the best tips, the best practices, the ideas, the strategies that I get do not happen in a classroom. They happen in that chance meeting that I sit next to somebody at lunch, that I talk to somebody in the elevator, in the hallway, or in the ever-popular ladies' bathroom. A lot of takeaways happen in the ladies' bathroom. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? But another great place for networking to occur, as I've seen this happen here at Sage, is the lobby bar, okay? So as I went into the lobby bar surveying it, I noticed that, you know what you usually see, pockets of people getting together and networking, but I noticed something different this year. In one hand, they had a beverage of choice, and the other hand, their smartphone. And groups of people poring over their Android, BlackBerry, iPhone, and you would hear these things coming up from the groups. Oh my God, I have the coolest app for that. Let me show you how to do it. Oh wait, you can do it so much faster. Let me show you how to do that on your phone. Or you'd hear this phrase, oh, you're wasting way too much time. Let me show you a better way to do that. And these were the things that I heard coming out of all these huddle groups, and it dawned on me. We learn about cool apps, shortcuts, new ways to use our modern technology, to use this unbelievable thing that we carry in our pocket, in our hand, from our network. Colleagues, friends, sometimes complete strangers educate and inform us on how to use our mobile technology. So I realized 4 years ago, when I first got my first iPhone, I was actually on a plane trying to get an email out before the cabin doors closed. And I was typing with my one finger as fast as I could to get my email out, when suddenly my phone went blank. I mean, that just died, just blank. And I'm not sure exactly what I said out loud. I don't think I can say it on this stage, but it was probably a few choice words as I thought my $500 brand new phone was broken, when suddenly a complete stranger leaned across the aisle and said, would you like me to show you how to hard start your phone? Same thing happened to me. I had no idea until somebody showed me. And then proceeded to press down on the power button and the home button at the same time, and that little apple appeared again. 2 weeks later, I was at a party, and a woman came running into the living room that I didn't know and said, oh my God, my brand new iPhone just broke. And I walked over and said, would you like me to show you how to hard start your phone? And I proceeded to make her day. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we've got, I don't know, 1,800, 2,000 smartphone experts in this room. You all raised them, and we're waving them in the air for Himanshu, so I know you've got your device on you. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do something I like to call pair and share. And what's going to happen is in just a minute, I'm going to ask you to turn to somebody either sitting next to you, behind you, in front of you. You shouldn't have to move too far. Just turn to somebody sitting around you. And in just a second, you're going to share in 60 seconds, partner one, decide who's going to go first. When you find your partner, decide who's going first. Partner number one, you're going to have 60 seconds. The timer's going to go up on the clock. 60 seconds to share one best practice, one cool app that you can't live without, one great way you've learned how to troubleshoot your phone that's really helped you do your job better, faster, easier, or made your life better, okay? When the clock stops at 60, we're going to switch roles, and partner two, it'll be your turn, same drill, 60 seconds. We're going to put the clock up. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to find your partner really quick. Turn and find your partner, and then I'll start you. All right, are we ready? The clock is going to start. 60 seconds, partner one, go. 10 seconds left. All right. Awesome. We're going to switch roles. Partner 2, you're going next. Same drill, 60 seconds. Are you ready? Clock's up. And go. All right, 5 seconds, start wrapping up. All right, come on back. Raise your hand if you just learned a cool app, about a cool app or a new shortcut you did not know before. Raise your hand, look around. Oh my gosh, that was just 2 minutes, people. Wait until we get going in Sage City. I want you to imagine sitting in a circle with 6 or 7 other like-minded customers like you who have the same lay awake at night issues, same challenges that you're facing, who use some of the same Sage products you use. Imagine getting tips, resources, shortcuts, best practices, things you didn't know before you got here that you cannot write down fast enough. Imagine feeling like you got your money's worth for this conference by 6 o'clock tonight. Well, guess what? You don't have to imagine it. We've created it. Welcome to Sage City. All right. We're really excited in case you can't tell. But we've been planning this for a long time. Back in December, I had a chance to talk to many customers, random customers selected across North America. Many of you are in this room that I spoke to. And I asked you, I said, what would make your Sage Summit experience really valuable? What would make you feel like you got your money's worth, not only in investment, but in time and attendance? And here's what the customers told me. Here's what you told me. They said, number one, they wanted to gain insight into emerging trends. They said, we want you to pull back the curtain and show us what's coming in the future. And that's exactly what Pascal and Himanshu did. Then they said they wanted to experience networking on steroids. They wanted to really have the chance to have meaningful exchanges and interactions, not just with other customers, but they said they wanted more contact with the employees of Sage and the business partners. And they saw the business partners as mentors. Then they also told me they wanted to leverage the intellectual equity that's only available at Sage Summit, which is what just happened just now in 2 minutes, leveraging that intellectual equity. And then they said, make it easy, Sarah, for us to find like-minded people. If I had a nickel for every time I heard a customer say like-minded, they wanted to make it easy. And that's exactly what we did. They said, put us together in groups where we're going to be with people who work in the similar industry that we work in, work with similar products, have similar job responsibilities. And we took that data, and that's exactly how we formulated our 9 villages. But last but certainly not least, the last thing they said to me, which really resonated, was they said, we want to come out of Sage Summit with tangible outcomes, things that we can immediately implement back at the office immediately to help us do our jobs faster, better, easier. And these 5 key themes have been the focus of everything we've done for you this week. And I promise you, you have been the center of our focus. Now, this morning there was a an app on the mobile app, there was actually a question that went out. If any of you, how many of you had a chance to vote on the polls? You probably voted for your favorite band. There was also another question on the poll this morning on the mobile app, and if you have not downloaded the Sage mobile app, that is so cool, download it, because everything you need to know about Sage Summit 2012 is on your app. But this morning we asked this question. We asked you if you could, can we bring the question up? There we go. On a scale of 1 to 5, rate how valuable you feel networking and best practice sharing is in helping you build your career and your business. So that question went out, and here's how the app came back. Here's what the results were. 73% of you said very valuable. The other remaining 20% said valuable. So it sounds to me like most of you agree, I should be preaching to the choir here, that this is an important part to UC. Networking is critical to your success. 9 years ago, 3 Sage consultants met at a Simply Accounting conference, very similar conference and feel, not quite as big as this one, but it was similar. They didn't know each other before. They hit it off, and at the end of the conference, they said, wow, we need to stay together. We need to keep meeting. This is really good. And they continued to meet for a year, and they would get together and do training tips and updates and support each other. At the end of that year, they thought, this is kind of good. I think we should add 2 more. Let's add 2 more consultants. And they reached out to 2 more Sage consultants. Those Fab 5, I like to call them, network and mavens, continued to meet for another year. At the end of that year, they had this wild and crazy idea. They thought, well, what if we focus less on competition and more on collaboration and cooperation? And what if we expand this 5 and we bring in more consultants so we can really get new perspectives, new ideas, new best practices? And the group grew to 12, and then it grew to 15. And then they became known. They decided they needed a name, and they became known as the first consultants meetup in Canada. That group, 9 years later, still meets every other month. Matter of fact, they've inspired many other consultant meetup groups to meet all throughout Canada. And today we have a little special treat. One of the original 5 networking mavens, one of the Fab 5, is here today for her very first Sage Summit. Would you please help me give a big Nashville shout out to one of the original people who started this networking movement. She's here today with her daughter, Bianca Lightheart. Would you please help me welcome Diana Mueller? If you're, I know we have many, if you're a member of one of the consultant meetups that Diane and the other 4 started, would you please stand up, because it's your first Sage Summit too. Where are you? Some of those consultants from Canada? I know we've got some more. Good, welcome. Yes. Welcome. I grew up in Detroit, Michigan, and I can see Canada really from my house. You know, this not only did this happen, but then I guess these guys didn't think, these original 5 didn't think they'd done enough, and they actually went out and started the Institute for Professional Bookkeepers of Canada, IPBC, which has over 900 members, and in 3 weeks they're going to have their first conference in Vancouver, yep. And they're setting standards in bookkeeping, and you know, all of this happened, people. All of this happened because 5 like-minded bookkeepers who all use the same similar product, who all worked in the same profession in Canada, decided to get together and do what I call co-opetition, okay? And you've got an opportunity to do that tonight in a very powerful way. What Diane did, what she started in Canada, what we have going on in communities all throughout Sage is what I call networthing. You see, networthing is not about you. Networthing is about them. Networthing is not transactional minded. Networthing is when you come to people with your hands up and you say, how can I be a resource for you? Networthing is when you stand intentionally in the middle of your network and you look for ways to connect people, opportunities, ideas. Networking is when you look for ways to build a bigger pie, because then we all get a bigger slice. And tonight, we've got the opportunity for you to do that. We have 9 villages, you probably noticed, scattered around this room. We have tried to make it easy for you to find like-minded people. But to help you get an idea of what's going to happen when you get to these villages, we're going to drop in on one of them right now. And I believe Mayor Ed Kless is available for us in the accounting village. Ed, are you there?
I am here.
Awesome.
There we go.
So Ed is going to give us a little preview of what you guys can expect when you go to these villages, because they're all set up the exact same. They're all set up the exact same. So Ed, how are things doing down in the accounting village?
Good. It's been busy, you know, kissing babies, avoiding major political scandals. It's hard, but we gotta make it work.
Well, good job, Ed. So tell us, there's a lot of people waving signs. It looks like a political convention going on over there.
That's right, we're voting Ed. No, actually, what we have here is our signs for the hot topics that you, our customers, told us about that you'd like to see. So you decide on which village you want to attend, meander on over to there, and then find the hot topic where a trained sage ambassador will be standing there with the sign. They're going to then organize you into groups of 5 to 7 people and pass you on off to a sage host, also has been trained in facilitation.
Awesome. So then after we have these 40-minute rounds where we're going to be networking and best practice sharing, what happens after that, Ed?
Right. Well, what you're going to do during the round is you're going to be asked a question and share. First of all, share your name, obviously, and company name. And then make sure that you turn your card in, your business card, into the person who is hosting you. Because we're going to have a raffle at the end of the first round for a Nook. And then at the end, we're going to have a raffle for an iPad. Now, here's the caution. Must be present to win. Okay?
Awesome.
So, there we go.
All right, so we're rewarding participation.
Yep, absolutely. And then after your host is going to be tracking this stuff down. There's spots on here for the key takeaways for payroll in your particular area. And then there's two-sided tape on this. You're going to peel this off. The host is going to put it up on the big wall back there that you see in each of the areas. And these are going to remain up for the remainder of the conference, so that if you want to meander into another village later on, you can see what others were talking about from a hot topic perspective. Also, make sure to drop your Twitter address in here if you want to be tweeted by other people who might have the same interest.
Awesome. So these white walls we see in all the villages, that's where all the outcome cards are going to go. And we encourage the conversation to keep going throughout breakfast for the next 2 days?
Absolutely. We want them to have
and do we want them to be tweeting, Ed? What about
tweeting.
Twitter?
Lots of tweeting. And if you tweet, please, please, please use the #SageSummit hashtag so we know it's part of the conference.
Awesome, great. So when the 40 minutes are up, Ed, and we're going to have a 20-minute break, right? We're going to come back in here. We're going to have food and beverages.
That's correct. So there'll be a break at 20 minutes, and then you reassemble. And you have the opportunity, if you want, to go to another village, or if you want, you can stay where you are. There is one change between the villages. If there's a topic that you want to see discussed that you did not see discussed on one of the signs, make sure you send out a tweet with that Sage Summit hashtag with your topic that you want. That will get people organized, and then go to the village, and there's special signs for those Twitter-based topics that will be around in the second round.
Awesome. So just go to a village, check in with the mayor. Every village has a mayor, and they'll give you a Twitter bird sign, and you can form your own group.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Ed, listen, I heard in my breakout session yesterday that people think you should not stop at mayor. You should go into the presidential election. Seem to have a lot of support going on over there.
That would be fine.
All right. So let's hear it for the accounting village and our Mayor Ed Kless over there. All right. Well, there are 8 other villages. Would you like to know where they are? Yes, all right, great. Well, let's start right here to my left. Would you please make some noise for the General Business Village? Over here in the corner, please make some noise for Payments and Money Movement. Right next to them, if you work in services and retail, make some noise for Sarah Village right over there. Right next to them, this is the Distribution Village. Woo! Look at all those happy people over there. And Manufacturing Reinventing, we have you split up. Wow. Just so you know, we have process manufacturing and discrete manufacturing. So go there and they'll help you find your way. Right next to them, we have sales and marketing. And right next to them, would you please make some noise for front office and talent? Right over here, make some noise for construction and real estate. Rowdy group. And last but not least, they hope you're going to come make a tax-deductible donation to not-for-profit. And they've got a beer garden going on over there. All right. So now, people, it's time for you to make your first choice. We have 9 villages. Go to the village that you feel is going to help you get to the like-minded people you want to network with. They're ready for you. They've got the hot topics ready for you. Go walk to a lollipop sign that has a topic you want to discuss. Get on your feet. It's time to take some action. We'll see you in 40 minutes.